Hello everybody, and welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. I believe today we are going... Hey Millie. Dark Oak Beijing long version. Right, we're going to go help Gobbet. Jomo stands at the edge of the dock, smoking a hand-rolled cigarette as he stares out over the river. As you approach, he lifts a hand in greeting. Oh there, come to admire the river with Jomo. Have a bottle of Baijiu we can share. Baijiu we can share. Sure, why not? Ah, best choice. The Orc Pirate grins from ear to ear and produces a bottle of half-full clear liquid. There is no label, and the cork appears to be hand-carved. It is the best my meager money can buy. Not many ships worth raiding lately. Goddamned weather. A smaller drink may have been a better idea. Your eyes begin to water as the baijiu fills your mouth with the flavour of kerosene and old tyres. Your throat feels like someone's poured molten glass down. Stifling a cough, you hand the bottle back to Jomo. He's still grinning. With this, you are ready to conquer the world. What favour can Jomo do for you? You need a body dumped at sea? I can do it fast. No one will see. Maybe you need to hide some cargo on a beach. Maybe make a map with X marks the spot. Captain Jomo bursts into hearty laughter, slapping his side in mirth. I need you to take me to the sinking ship. Ah, easy lah. I know exactly where that heap of junk is. Lead the way then. I'm gonna take... that's all I can take. Alright, how much karma do I have? 11. The scramble up the side of the sinking ship was treacherous. You hold yourself up over the edge with your heart hammering in your chest, clawing for purchase against the wind and the driving rain. Walking on the surface deck isn't much better. The steel that you're standing on is slick, sheeted with water from the rainstorm that hammers down from above. Every time you shift your weight, you can feel your feet begin to slide. There are no safety rails in sight. A slip, a rogue wave, it wouldn't take much to send you screaming over the edge of the raft and into the dark water below. And this thing is a wreck. Isabel gingerly prods at a rusted section of the container that you're standing on with her boot. It depresses easily, with entirely too much give. I can't believe that Gobbet ever chose to live here. I'm sure it's nicer on the inside. Pretty sure that's wishful thinking. She prods the patch of rust again, frowning. Steel flakes under her foot. Truth is, what we're seeing here doesn't even fit. The lady in charge of this thing, Melinda or whatever her name was supposed to be some sort of control freak. And Gobbet always talked to pal Cadmus up as a top quality repair guy. This thing look like it's in good repair to you? No, but we don't know. A sudden gust of wind buffets you, sending you sliding. Isabel drops to a crouch, clinging to the metal with gloved hands to keep herself from slipping. She looks up, locks her dark eyes on you. We should get moving. It's dangerous up here, and my gear is getting soaked. Agreed. Let's find Gobbet and make sure she's alright. She nods. You take lead. I'll follow. Yeah, let's go. Get over there. The woman by the fire looks like she hasn't seen a bar of soap in weeks. Her companion doesn't look much better. Their faces are streaked with soot and grime that the rain seems impotent to wash away. Glad to see that you made it through that in one piece. The woman smiles at you, revealing a set of crooked teeth. Come, please stand by the fire and get warm. Yeah, sure, thank you for the hospitality. Her smile widens. Of course, we don't get strangers here often, and it's far too miserable out to turn away a guest. You helped us out back there. I appreciate it. She smiles weakly. Of course. I'm just hoping that you'll be really willing to return the favor. We could really use the help. I've got some questions. If you two are locals, maybe you can answer them. They exchange uneasy glances. Sure. She tries on a smile. Ask away. What are your names? My name is Kara Leon. She jerks her thumb at the rotund man huddled by her side. That's Patrick Lowe. He lifts his doughy face from the fire to squint at you. Hey, welcome aboard. So you two are the welcoming committee? Yes, Melvina told us. His companion cuts in. We were told to keep position up here and watch out for incoming vessels. Piracy is always a threat in these waters. Can't tell you how happy we were to see a couple of friendly faces on deck. How do you know that we're friendly? We're heavily armed strangers, and you only just met us. She chuckles. If you wanted to kill us, you would have done it already, alright? Besides, we know you aren't pirates. You haven't tried to rob us yet. When did the devil rats first start appearing? A couple of months ago, I think? The days kind of flow together out here, so it's hard to say. They only started getting aggressive a couple of weeks ago, though. How many people live on the sinking ship? Beats me. The population's been going down recently, though, I can tell you that much. A lot of the ship is barricaded. Off limits. We have no idea how many people are living in those sections now. But when I first arrived on the sinking ship, there were at least a couple of hundred souls on board. Attrition being what it is, I guess that there are maybe 70 of us left. Like he said, it's hard to say. You two don't seem very well equipped to fight against those things. No offense. None taken. We're squatters, not soldiers. We're doing our best, but I'd be lying if I said we weren't glad to have professionals on board. Want to tell us why your raft is crawling with those things? Her smile fades. We don't know. At first it was just a nuisance, but lately it's been getting a lot worse. Those little monsters are threatening our nest. We try to kill them, but they just keep coming back. That answers my questions. Good. So, are you ready to help us? We'll help you with your rat problem, but you need to help us first. Turns to his companion. Refresh my memory. Didn't we just help peel a swarm of devil rats off of them a few seconds ago? Isabel heels to face the man's scowling. We didn't ask you to do that. We could have handled the rats on our own. We're looking for a friend. She sighs. Alright, describe this friend of yours to me. She's young, about my age, orcish, with a shaved scalp and dreadlocks. Have you seen her? I'm afraid not. I wish that we had. But we don't get to see many strangers here. So, how about it? Will you help us with our rat infestation or not? Yeah, we'll help. She breathes a sigh of relief. The rats have been a huge problem for us. Between the damage that they inflict and the disease that they carry, they've made it impossible for us to keep up our regular maintenance duties on the raft.
Yahoo!
Hey, Omega, how we doing? How's Shin Megami going? But welcome readers, I am Dark River 40. I play video games, streaming nearly every day, and just have fun doing whatever. Right now playing through Shadowrun Hong Kong. Beat up Zeus. I'm surprised he didn't have his way with you. You'll follow us, we'll lead you down below decks. With your help, we'll get this ship cleaned out again. Lead the Raven, we'll follow. The hatch down below is over this way. We'll show you down. A shallow pool of standing water has gathered on the platform, separating it from an access hatch at the edge of the raft. Electricity arcs over the surface of the pool, but in angry spiderwebs of blue-white light. Right now we're helping a friend. Well, hold up. The damned anti-boarding system's gone haywire again. He points at the crackling pool. Look, it isn't draining the way it's supposed to. She slams a heel into the deck, her face flushing red in frustration. Again? We just fixed the pump last week. Anti-boarding system? Isabel looks up from the crackling pool. Fixes her eyes on the locals. What the hell is this? Bad idea, that's what. Blame the Shadowrunners that lived on this thing before we did. It's like an anti-theft system or on a car, only a lot meaner. When it gets tripped, channel floods. Then the ship's power gets shunted into the water. It can deliver a hell of a shock. She shakes her head at the crackling pool, scowling. Only now it seems to trigger randomly. And the pump that we installed as a workaround has started breaking down at the drop of a hat. Great. No, it isn't that dangerous, all things considered. Glances at you and Isabel, sizes you up. You've got boots on, right? You could probably make it across without. Isabel cuts him off with a serious look on her face. It's pouring out. We're both drenched, and that thing has to be putting out a lot of voltage for those arcs to be visible like that. Trying to cross that pool as is would be a bad idea. A really bad idea. Maybe we can find a way to drain the water. Yeah, that pump over there. She points at the rusted hunk of machinery at the edge of the pool. I'm guessing that's the one that isn't working? Yeah, that's the one. It's supposed to keep this part of the deck clear, but it keeps breaking down. She shakes her head in disgust. Stupid, stupid thing. I swear it must have burnt through 4 different fuses in the past 2 weeks. We'll try fixing the pump first. If it doesn't work, we'll have to look around for another solution. She turns away from the dwarf, sneering. One that doesn't involve crossing on foot. Before you sits a very worn and very non-functional water pump. An ancient hose sneaks down from the pump into a drainage channel along the deck. Looks pretty busted. Maybe we could fix it with some of the junk that's littering the deck. Upon closer inspection, you can see that this pump suffers from clear signs of neglect. Years of near-constant use and deferred maintenance have taken their toll on the machine, and it has recently broken down. Heavy scoring and burn patterns also indicate the reason why the pump isn't working, a blown fuse. She studies the broken mechanism, frowning. Afraid not. If I were a computer, I could probably do something with it, but I'm not much of a mechanic. If we find a replacement fuse, I can slot it for you. Anything else, and you run your own. Alright, so that's not useful. Put that into stash. A heavily rusted wheel has been mounted to one of the containers here. The floor grates here look similar to the ones near all the flood. She examines the grates, frowning. Yeah, I think all of this might be connected. Hydraulic, maybe. I can see some lines running under the lip of this container. Dang it. This might be the solution to our flooding problem. Assuming you can get that wheel to budge, that is. Don't have enough. Unless... Nope. And I can't respec. One of the locals looks up at the sound of your approach. The others remain huddled around the low fire, their backs hunched against the pelting rain. You need something, girl? If not, shove off. This fire's taken. The water pump on the other side of the deck blew a fuse. Know where I could find a new one? Maybe. Could be a new fuse anywhere up here. We tend to not to throw things like that away. He shrugs. Check the piles. That's where bits and bobs usually wind up. But watch my hands if I were you, though. Rats have been known to hide in those piles. The old man chuckles, nods. He's right. You might get chewed down if you're not careful. Have to go. Go then. Shove off. The old man makes a brushing motion with the back of his hand. If you're smart, you won't stop until you hit dry land. Alright, I don't have any money. Alright, nothing there. Got it. And replace the blown fuse. You eject the pump's blown fuse. It collided to the deck below. With a deft motion, you click the intact fuse that you discovered into place. Lights on the pump's control panel go from red to green, and the little machine rattles back to life. Grenade launcher. And then climbed in. Upon descending the ladder, you find yourself in the cramped confines of a shipping container. The interior walls have been erected of corrugated aluminium, and the doors have been cut to allow passage from compartment to compartment. The air down here is ripe with the odor of rotting garbage. Sorry about the state of the place. The rats have kept our work crews too busy to worry about hauling the garbage. But now that you're here, we'll be able to set things right. Kill off those little bastards once and for all. Before we go after the rats, I want you to take me to someone in position of authority on this wreck. Malvina or Cadmus, say. Or Gobbet. We don't know anyone named Gobbet. Cadmus is sick. He's in the quarantine wing. He probably doesn't have long. Malvina is below us, on the lower deck. She's a busy woman, though. She's the only one who's keeping this place afloat. Take us to Cadmus, then. Follow us. We'll take you right to him. The local up ahead beckons you forward. It's just up this way, through the door here. As you approach, something catches your eye. A vent in the wall behind the locals. Movement. Something living must be hidden inside. As you watch, the locals continue to wave for you, unaware of what's happening behind them. There is a flurry of motion and something large explodes out of the vent. Gobbet lands in a crouch, her weapon raised. Don't go in there, it's a trap. The bloodied local tosses her gun aside and raises a pair of trembling hands. Her eyes have gone wide with terror. I'm sorry. We didn't want to do it. We didn't have a choice. The words come spilling out in a frantic babble. It ordered us to. What it? What are you talking about? Explain yourself. I don't know what it is. It talks with Malvina's voice, but it isn't her. Helpless tears stream down her cheeks, clinging to her skin like beads of dew on a leaf. If you want to live, you have to do what it says. I'm going to let you live. Don't make me regret it. The squatter collapses against the wall, sobbing uncontrollably. Posture check. Gobbet dusts herself off and paces toward you. There you is. Hey, Seattle. I don't remember inviting you on this run, but I guess I'm glad that you could make it. She jerks her head toward the squatter's ruined body. You're welcome, by the way. You alright? Came looking for you. Really? Thought you were visiting the sinking ship for its wonderful food and beautiful views. She flashes you a weak smile. And yeah, I'm okay. Look, I'm sorry about the sudden entrance and everything. I wish that I'd had time to explain what was going down, but I didn't. Because, well, she shrugs. Trap. Yeah, you mentioned that. What kind of trap are we talking about? The kind where you end up dead. Look, I don't know exactly what they were planning to do, but I've seen them lead people through those doors before. She gestures toward the heavy double doors at the end of the hall. The people who I watched go in there never came back out again. Not A1. They'd just scream and scream, and when the doors opened up again, they'd be gone. Well, thanks for the warning. She shrugs. Don't mention it. There's a long, awkward pause. Finally, Isabel steps forward. So now that we're all together, you want to tell us why you came back here all by yourself? We'd have gone with you, Gobbet. All that you had to do was tell us. She raises her hands. Yeah, I know. But I figured this was on me, and I didn't want to wait another minute. Besides, I had a plan. Yeah, and what kind of plan was that? Pretty simple one. All I wanted to do was get the lay of the land, sneak around a little, maybe find my old friends and get some answers. I didn't come here to get into a firefight, and it's easier to be quiet solo than it would be dragging you two around. No offense. So you scoped the place out, fine. Mission accomplished. You know what you're doing now? Yeah, this place is fucked. I'm gonna sink it. Wait a second, what? The sinking ship is doomed, Seattle. I could feel that the second I set foot on board. She checks herself. Earlier than that, even. On some level, I think that I could feel it back home. That's why I couldn't stop thinking about this place. Whatever is happening here, it's wrong. This whole place feels off to me somehow. Maybe even toxic. I came to find my friends, Cadmus and Malvina, to check on them. Instead, I found a swarm of man-eating rats, a death trap, and a bunch of squatters who seem intent on killing me. Her tone becomes brisk. So I'm going to kill them right back, and I'm going to use the scuttling charges that are still embedded in the hull to do that. I've already handled the ones on this level, but I haven't gone down below yet. We need to activate the charges below the waterline if we're going to bring this sucker down. And so that's where you're heading next? Downward? Not quite, on account of the trap. I don't know how to get past it yet. She frowns. I'm in a setback, right? So my next step was to figure that out. Well, we haven't found Cadmus or Malvina yet. They could still be alive somewhere, maybe even on this level. Yeah, maybe. I hope so, because of all the people on this raft, Cat is the one I'd trust most to get us past whatever's in that room. He was always more of a mechanic than he was a shaman. We have to figure out how to get past this trap, I get that. But let's keep our eyes open while we're doing that. There could be more going on here than you realize. I seriously doubt it. Remember what I told you about second guessing? She isn't second guessing anything. We haven't seen enough to make a decision yet. You may have, but we haven't. Goblet lets out an exasperated sigh. Alright, Iz. You want to look around? We'll do that. But afterwards, we're arming the rest of those charges. Let's move. A middle-aged woman with a slouching posture stands with her head back to a reinforced door. With a languid motion, she turns her head to stare at you. Nefix, I'll be damned. She shifts positions with a grunt. The hell are you doing in here? Who are you? Name's Lisa. You can call me Lise, though. Everybody on the raft does. What's behind that door there? She runs her tongue over her teeth. Storage closet? Nothing worthwhile in there. Don't even know why they have me standing watch over the thing. But those are the rules, right? And you can't question the rules. I'm questioning them right now. What did the rules ever do for you? Well, they kept me alive for one. She licks her lips, nodding. That means I'm doing better than some. Somebody get killed for breaking the rules? She nods slowly. Lots of people. You can't disobey orders. Not on a ship at sea. Or a rusting hulk moored in a bay. The words come unmuttered under her breath. Or a raft like your little friend says. She shoots a dark glance at Isabel, and her knuckles whiten as her grip on her weapon tightens. She should be nicer about it, though. This rusting hulk is my home. Fair enough. Let's talk about something else. Sure. Just so long as it don't involve breaking the rules. I was just leaving. An open junction box juts out from the wall, its cover hanging by a single screw. Wires crisscross over one another in a chaotic jumble, and the whole apparatus appears to be held together with electrical tape. Jury-rigged, like everything else here. She frowns at the tangle of wiring, clucking her tongue in disapproval. It's really sloppy work. You'd think that in an environment like this, They'd at least try to do some basic waterproofing. She traces the wall-mounted cables that sneak out from the box with her eyes, follows them to their termination point. Looks like this box is feeding power to that door over there. If we were to short it, we might be able to get the thing open. You stare at the mess of knotted and frayed wires. It's like looking into the mouth of chaos, but you struggle to make sense of it. Eventually, you narrow down your options. The typical color coding system for internal wiring has obviously been ignored by whoever wired the sinking ship in the first place. But you think that cutting and reconnecting one of the 3 wires might do the trick. Of course, choosing the wrong wire would result in a nasty shock. It's always the red wire. Slowly, tentatively, you reach forward and snip the wire and reconnect it in a different configuration. The results of your work are immediate and spectacular. You hear a deafening cracking sound, and a blinding flash of light stabs your eyes. Moments later, the hall fills with the overpowering stench of ozone. The overhead lights flutter. Up ahead, you can hear the sound of a set of door locks disengaging. A stocky dwarf leans up against the wall of the container room. His skin is sallow and it hangs off of his bulky frame like a half-deflated balloon. You saw plenty of sick people back in the Barrens. Addicts, BTL heads, people whose immune systems had been ravaged by disease. This guy looks worse. The dwarf's milky eyes track you as you approach. A wave of recognition washes over his face, but his movements remain lethargic. Eventually, he manages to slur out a few words. "Got it. Back after all this time." "Yeah, I'm sorry it's taken so long." Gobbet stares at the dwarf wide-eyed. "It's good to see you again, Cad." "Gobbet's told me all about you. How are you feeling?" "Perfect. Thanks for asking." He struggles to contain a burst of coughing. "I mean, I'm dying, and my home has gone to shit. And we're probably gonna sink into the bay. But otherwise, I'm great." With visible effort, he shifts his focus to Gobbet. "Welcome home, girl. It's been a long time." She swallows. "Cadmus say. Save it. I'm not mad." He squeezes his eyes shut. "I'm mostly just happy to hear your voice again. It's good to have a friend." "You sick, Cadmus?" He grins. Between his sunken eyes and hollow cheeks, the end result is ghastly. "Ill? I would say so. Deathly ill. Vitas is a real bitch. Even a muted strain like this one can really knock you on your ass." "You'll be okay, Cad. You're a dwarf and a shaman. That's 2 big points in your favor. You're gonna walk this off, you'll see." "Spare me the pep talk. I'm too tired to walk." He coughs into his sleeve. "Cad." "Save it. I know what my chances look like, and they ain't good. I've seen a lot of our friends looted into these cots. Gobbet. They all went out in garbage bags. Anyway." He wrestles his mouth into a friendly smile. "Let's talk about something else, huh? All this doom and gloom is getting to me." "Tell us what's happening here." "Bad things. A lot of good people died. Something's rotten on this raft, Gobbet. You know what I mean. Toxic." "Yeah, I can feel it too. I could feel it all the way back home." Her throat moves, but it takes a moment for her voice to catch up. "Cadmus, where are our friends? What happened to Yasmin and Anson and Malvina? Anson's dead. He never even made it into the sick room. He just disappeared. But I know where he went. He stabs his finger downward at the floor. Yasmin's still with us. Small favors, right? But the fight has gone out of her. She's content to do what she's told and tremble. Malvina ain't Malvina anymore. What is she? I don't know what it is. It's definitely toxic, but as for what it is... His voice trails off. Cadmus stares up at Gobbet helplessly. Malvina went off the rails because of the damned bauble I gave her. That's what happened, isn't it? It ain't her, Gobbet. It's something else. He struggles to contain another cough. Eventually it passes. But yeah, that shiny red egg that you and Sui lifted is the cause of it, I think. The ugliness was already inside of her. That thing brought it out. She squeezes her eyes shut, pulls her hands into fists. Shit. Cadmus, you said that Malvina isn't herself anymore, so what is she? You ever heard of a rat king? It's an old folklore thing. A bunch of rats all fused together, the tails all wrapped and twisted into a great big knot. That's what Mal has become. I don't know how many different spirits she's tied her essence to. But the last time I opened my third eye to her, I couldn't see where they ended and she began. What does that even mean? I've never heard of. It means that she ain't human anymore, girl. Her aura is bound to other things. Alien things. All tangled and twisted and grown together. They're all one being now. A rat king. It talks like Malvina, but it ain't her anymore. So this rat king is still human physically speaking? Don't know. I've heard rumors that Malvina's meat body is changing too. Haven't seen it myself. Don't know if I want to. Another long, wet cough interrupts his speech. He wipes his mouth with the back of his hand. The talisman the Rat King is holding. This shiny object. Do you know how it works? Nah, tried sensing it once. The only thing I took away from the experience was a migraine. Felt like there were railroad spikes buried behind my eyes for days. All I can tell you for certain is that it still works. As long as the Rat King's connected to that thing, you can't hurt it. Any holes you put in its body will close up on their own. What are we expected to do against that? If the bauble makes the thing unkillable, then you'll need to find a way to get that bauble away from it. Gobbet managed to do it during Sui's rebellion. I bet she could do it again. Did you try to fight this Rat King? Yeah, I'd had enough. A lot of us had. So I took a page from old Sui's book. He offers you a sickly grin. We mutinied. Gestures to the writhing bodies on the cots of the sick room. This is what's left of our side. Been locked in here for 5 days now, waiting for the Vitas to finish the job. The rest of us got fed to the rats. Doesn't seem to have gone very well. This half smile on his face evaporates. No, it didn't. Truth is, we weren't prepared for how many of those bastard rats Malvina had bred. And we weren't expecting our shipmates to fight on her behalf. Why would the others stop you from taking the ship back? It doesn't even make sense. What do you think, girl? Fear. Fear of death. Fear of being gnawed apart by 100 vermin. Fear of that thing. So you're saying that the people here aren't brainwashed? They're just afraid? Scared shitless is a better way of putting it. They can't blame it. If anything, we're the crazy ones for trying to fight that thing. If the Rat King's soldiers only serve it because they're afraid, then maybe we can turn them away from it. Could do. Might rally around someone they know. Maybe someone who lived with and fought for him years ago. He eyes Gobbet. That was a subtle hint, girl. Stretch. I've got a better idea. We're gonna get you and your people onto lifeboats. And then we're sending this raft into the bottom of the bay. And the Rat King is going with it. You can't mean that. This is our home. We've got nowhere else to go, Gobbit. And I am not gonna let that thing force us to put this raft to the torch. You've already tried it your way. Look what happened. Isabel steps in. Maybe it's good that you leave this place. I've lived in a place like this before. I've seen what it can do to people. She grew up in the walled city, Cad. And she knows what we've got to look forward to if you sink this raft. Because we sure as hell can't afford to live anywhere else. He cranes his neck to look up at Gobbit. Bleeding, desperation burns in his eyes. Gobbit, listen. It isn't too late for the sinking ship. We can still turn this thing around. My mutiny failed because the Rat King knew things that we didn't. Yours can succeed if you'll try. She shakes her head obstinately. My gut says that we should sink the raft. It said that from the moment I arrived here. That's what Rat wants me to do, so that's what I'm gonna do. Gobbit, Cadmus might be right. If we could drum up enough support, I think that we could retake the sinking ship. Her eyes narrow. Have you forgotten the first lesson I taught you, Seattle? Always go with your gut, and my gut says... Spare us the lecture, Gobbit. Cadmus is right. You're going off half-cocked again. Truth is, we can save this raft if you want to. If you don't, tell us and we'll sink it. Look, Gobbit, things have changed since you decided to sink this raft. You can see that, right? She sets her jaw, draws in a deep breath, and slowly releases it. Alright, Cad, if you're sure that you can keep up your end, I'd be willing to help you with your mutiny. But if your people fuck it up, I'm sinking this thing, got it? Yeah, and thanks. With your help, we can do this. That remains to be seen. He waves her off. Go on, get moving, and convince as many people as you can to help us when the time comes. Whoever you don't bring around to our side is going to fight against us, so be thorough about it. When you're ready for us to make our move, trigger the shipboard alarm system. 2 blasts, then we'll start kicking indoors. Alright, Cad, 2 blasts to start the mutiny. But if we sound the alarm once and leave it, you get your people the hell off this raft, got it? 1 blast means you're sinking the raft. You do that and I'm kicking your bony ass from here to Macau. But yeah, I hear you. Another long, wet cough racks his body. You got all of that, stranger? You know what you're supposed to do? We convince people to join you, then trigger the alarm. 1 blast means we're sinking the raft. 2 means that the mutiny is gone. Got it. Good, thanks. And Gobbit, thank you. Does me good to know that you're with us on this. Now we go over to this guy. Another squatter, this one more beaten up than most. Bloody bandages wrap his knuckles, and one of his orbital sockets has been crushed, deforming the silhouette of his face. He peers at you with a mixture of suspicion and hostility. Don't recognize you? That means you're new here. His voice comes out in a hoarse croak. You picked a bad place to go sightseeing, outsider. I don't know. This place has its charms. Making jokes, stranger? Well, I'm not in a joking mood. He spits the words out like venom. Now tell me what you want so that I can be on my way. Did the Rat King's people do that to you? No, I got caught in the crossfire. The mutineers did this to me. Thought I was with the Rat King. All I wanted to do was get home. Instead, my right eye now only sees double now. I can hardly use my hands. The calmness of his voice belies the naked spite on his face. Thanks for asking. We're taking this raft back from the Rat King. We need all the help we can get. Can we count on you? He chuckles. You're all fools. The last two mutinies failed, and yours will too. Even if you did have a chance, it was Cadmus and his boys that did this to me. You think I'm gonna cozy up with them? I'm sorry that they hurt you, but like you said, you got caught in the crossfire. People get hurt in those situations, it happens. Cadmus would never intentionally harm you. The Rat King, on the other hand. I said no. I'm not putting my neck out for anybody. I'm gonna ride this thing out. And that's all there is to it. If you help us, I can make it worth your while. I have connections back in Kowloon. You've hard of hearing. I said no, and that's fine. I'm not laying my life on the line. For you, or for Cadmus, or for anyone else. What happened to this blade of yours? Any idea where it went? I'll leave you be. Dang it. A slender human woman in shabby overalls looks up from her work with a frown. Can't help but notice the scars on her neck. Her eyes flip from you to Isabel. When they land on Gobbet, her face lights up. I'll be damned. Gobbet? Hello, Yasmin. It's good to see you again. Yeah, you too. Where the hell have you been all these years? On a different boat, funny enough. Yes, I'm a little out of the loop on what's happening here. Would you do me a solid and fill us in? Yeah, we're not supposed to talk about it, but I'll tell you what I know. Have you had any close encounters with devil rats? Yeah, don't go downstairs unless you absolutely have to. The lower decks are absolutely crawling with the things. We're taking the ship back, Yasmin. We need your help. Her eyes go wide. Another mutiny? No, not me. Go to someone else. I saw what happened last time. Last time you didn't have me here. We're gonna kill the monster that stole Malvina's voice, Yas. You've got my word on that. She stares at Gobbet long and hard. Finally, she acquiesces with a nod. Alright, Gobbet, I'm in. I'm terrified, but I'm in. Her voice breaks, but she continues on. I'm no fighter, you know that. I'll keep the ship afloat. That's about it. I'll do what I can to help. You'll be okay, Yasmin. I promise. Circle up with your brother. I'm sending everyone we can convince to help. To meet up with him in the sick room. He'll tell you what to do from there. Access to terminal. This squatter is in need of immediate medical attention. Her torso is a gory mess, and an ever-expanding pool at her feet tells you that she's well on the way to bleeding out. Hold still. This might sting a little. You crack open a medkit and go to work. Within minutes, you've run a saline drip into her arm and sealed the wound with liquid skin. Final slap patch of adrenaline and painkiller gets the woman up and onto her feet. Shakily, she extends a hand in greeting. Don't know who you are, strangers, but you just saved my life. If I can ever return the favor, you let me know. We're taking another run at the Rat King, and we're gonna kill it this time. We could use your help. I want to help, but Can't do much without supplies. She looks her lips considering. I'll make you a deal. If you hook me up with some medical supplies, I'll join your mutiny. Here you go. She gratefully accepts the supplies that you offer her. The deal's a deal, and I have a debt to repay. When you make your move on the Rat King, I'll be there to help. I have a few things to take care of here first, but I will. You've got my word on that. The man standing before you looks cleaner than most of the other squatters on the sinking ship. There are no streaks of grease on his cheeks, and his clothes look freshly laundered. He leers at you as you approach. Well, what have we here? Strangers on her humble raft, exploring her leaking bowels? The man grins, revealing the cavernous gap in his teeth. He hefts a snifter brimming with cognac and salute. Welcome to the sinking ship, strangers. Now tell me what you want. We're taking the sinking ship back from the Rat King. Will you help us? He shakes his head sadly. No, I'm afraid not. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I do have the money. You know, 500 million could buy you a lot of brandy. Yes, yes it could. He snatches the cred stick out of your hand. Oh, very well, when the fighting starts, I will do what I can. I'll leave you to your business. I need to talk to Cadmus about the trap. There's a trapped room at the end of the hall. Know anything about that? Yeah, me and my crew built the thing. Let me guess, Malvina's orders? He nods. First thing she asked us to do after Sui's little rebellion. We started work on the thing the week after you left. Yasmin was in charge of the project. Can you tell us how to get past it? No. He coughs wetly into his sleeve. No, but yes, Yaz can. She should be somewhere on this level. Go find her and tell her I sent you. We will. Thanks, Cad. Don't mention it. Gilbert, you're back. Cadmus said that you were in charge of building the trap at the end of the hall. Yeah, that was me. I didn't want to build the thing, but I did it to help Malvina, to keep us safe. I've regretted it ever since. We could really use your help, Yaz. We need to get below decks, and we need to do it in one piece. Can you help us get past that trap you built? I think so. It's been a long time. But I think I remember what wires you need to snip to disarm the thing. She fumbles at a nearby table, grabs a napkin, then produces a grease pencil from her breast pocket and begins to draw. There's a hidden access panel in the floor. You'd never find it if you didn't know where to look. You snip these wires here, and this one here, bypass the circuit. She scribbles on the napkin with a steady hand. Then flip this lever. Do that and you're done. Trapdoor won't trigger and you won't get dumped into the killing pit. Killing pit? She passes the napkin to Gobbet. That's pretty much what you'd expect. She snatches the napkin from Yasmin's hand. Thanks, Yaz. You don't know how badly we needed this. I can guess. Cadmus sent you to me after all. She smiles weakly. Best of luck. I'll leave you to your work. Yeah, thanks. And be careful out there. The air is thicker in here, acrid. The stench clings to your tongue, sticks in the back of your throat. It smells like damp cardboard and stale urine. Gobbet surveys the room warily, her nose crinkling in disgust. She produces the napkin with Cadmus's instructions from her breast pocket and hands them to you. There you go, Seattle. You know what to do. Under her breath, you hear her muttering, "Let's hope that Yaz knows her stuff." Following the grease pencil diagram, you locate a hunk of metal flooring with a slightly raised edge. Hooking your fingers under it, you lift to reveal a hidden access panel. That's a good sign. Follow Yasmin's instructions to disarm the trap. The instructions are surprisingly easy to follow. 3 snips with your pocket knife and a rewired connection later, the floor-spanning trapdoor has been disarmed. Ah, that was easy. She beams at you. Go on, Seattle, take the lead. You've earned it. Don't mind if I do. Stepping into this room is like wading into the killing floor of a slaughterhouse. There isn't an inch of ground that isn't caked with spilled blood. The stench that floods into your nostrils is as overpowering as it is vile. It is the stench of rotten beef and stale vomit, of warm blood poured into a chemical toilet and left out in the sun to cook. The buzzing of flies in your ears helps bring you back to your senses. Blinking against the light, you see stacks of mouldering trash piled nearly to the ceiling. The piles of dead bodies are stacked nearly as high. None of these people died cleanly, not a one. In one way or another, each carcass has been ripped apart. Some have been riddled with bullets, others have been sliced open with blades or shredded by chisel-like teeth. The end result is always the same. Another fresh corpse, its eyes open in agony and surprise. Gobbet's jaw drops open in horror. Her eyes move slowly from atrocity to atrocity, her cheeks draining of colour. But Beach... and... no, not Simon. Oh, rat, no, this... Gobbet gasps for a way to finish her thought. He doesn't find one. We need to find that Rat King and put an end to this. She gives you a shallow nod. That thing is going to die. Malvina, the Rat King, whatever it is, did this. It's going to die, and I'm going to kill it. The Rat King is supposed to be down on this level. That means we're headed in the right direction. After seeing this, I don't think that this raft is worth saving. We should go back to my original plan, Seattle. Let's send this thing to the bottom. That's where it belongs. Can't do that, Gobbet. I already told Cadmus that we're going to help him. He's been getting the other mutineers ready to fight, not to evacuate. If we sink this thing now, they might not even make it off the boat. We'll tell them that we've changed our minds using the alarm system. They'll make it out, trust me. I made a promise, Gobbet, and I think we should keep it. She sighs. I think it's a stupid idea, Seattle. But if you really want to do this, then I'll help you get it done. At least this way, I'll get to look the Rat King in the eye when I kill it. Damn right. If we're going to do this, we need to find Malvina's old cabin. It should be west of here. Got it. We'll have to get that shiny object away from the Rat King if we want to kill it. That's probably gonna be tricky. Don't think that she'll just let me saunter up and take it. If she did, this wouldn't be any fun. Nah, I guess that it wouldn't. She rolls her shoulders, exhales heavily. Alright, let's do this. And an old relay switch box hangs off the wall. The plastic exterior of the case is broken in numerous places, and a jumble of wires spill out of the cracks. This must be the shipboard alert system, or what's left of it. Your eyes are drawn to a large lever marked alarm. Pull the lever twice. The alarm blows once, then twice. The sound is ear-splitting. Moments later, the distant sound of gunshots filters down from above. Goes to Gobbet. The door is heavy. It could easily be barred to prevent outside intrusion, but instead it stands ajar. It's almost as if it's inviting you in. That's Malvina's old cabin. The seat of power for the sinking ship. That's where the Rat King is gonna be. Once we go in there, we're going to be in this. There's no changing our minds after we've picked the fight with that thing. What do you say, Reaver? Are we doing this or not? The thing that looms over you is horrifying. A twisted amalgamation of woman and swarm, knotted and tied together into a single whole. Gobbet. The creature's voice is unnerving. 1,000 rumbling voices all interwoven and laid over the top of Malvina's crisp, cultured speech. You have returned to us, little mouse. You, the instigator of our own ascendancy. The Rat King shifts its gaze to a nearby altar. Gleaming red stone has been ensconced within. The keystone, the source of our unity, the font of power that makes us strong. Your gift to us, little mouse. You gave us what we needed to bring this raft to order. Gobbet's nose crinkles in revulsion. On her shoulders, madness and folly chitter and shriek. Save me the speech, Malvina, or whatever you are. I'm not here to talk. The new body isn't doing you any favors, by the way. You look like a fairy tree stump. Creature leans forward into the light. A fine-featured face with high cheekbones and piercing eyes stares down at you. A carpet of living vermin that bury the rest of Malvina's head and neck struggle and shriek. Our new body is beauty itself. Unity of biology and unity of purpose. Malvina, what happened to you? We are not Malvina. We are one. Bound together for all time. The thing's voice grows to a roar. And you hear other sounds folded into it. The cacophonous, gibbering babble of things gone mad. We are order out of chaos. The death of entropy. A glorious unity. Oh, fuck this. She pulls back the slide on her weapon. We're here to kill this thing, not let it talk us to death. Damn right. I should have activated Overwatch on the other two.
Yahoo!
Hey, Mary. Hello, everybody. Welcome, readers. How was... I believe you were playing Mass Effect. Yes, I was. Just you started Mass Effect 3. Nice. Welcome, everybody. I am Dark Reaver 40. I play many video games. I stream basically every day. Finally finishing Sanity playthrough. Yeah, fun. Insanity is a fun difficulty. Right now we're playing Shadowrun Hong Kong, and we're doing a personal quest for this character. Her name is Gobbet. Not as frustrating in Mass Effect 3 as it is in 2. Yeah, I can imagine. Need her to go grab that. So that lady there is a pile of rats. I really like the Shadowrun setting. Yeah. Basically, there was a shiny object, literally called the shiny object, and the girl stole it, and then stole it from somebody else because they were abusing its power. Gave it to somebody she thought would take care of it, but it probably possessed her or something. probably possessed the person that she entrusted it to. And was essentially a hybrid of rat and person. The Rat King shrieks as Gobbet lifts the shiny object in her hands. In its voice, you can hear the echoes of 1,000 inhuman beings. This is interesting. She hugs the shiny object to her chest, her bare hands caressing the stone. I can feel Malvina's control over the rats. It's like 1,000 strings connecting her to them, and it feels like one of the Rat King's servitors shudders in place. Slowly, seemingly against its own will, lifts its head and to stare at you. I can tug at those strings. See, that's what she looks like. Yeah, and she's been feeding people to rats. But I really like Shadowrun. It's basically cyberpunk plus magic. Like, my character in this game is mostly robot now. I'm doing a kind of Atom Smasher build from Cyberpunk. I have robotic eyes that give me bonus to hit, armor, like grenades are useless against me. Still need to play Cyberpunk. I really want to play the tabletop RPG version of this. I want to give it a try. And you've got your stats. Oh, I can't do that while in conversation. Malvina's cultured voices over blah blah blah. We will rend you all to pieces, tear your flesh to shreds. Gobbet dances back, cradling the shiny object like a newborn baby. She begins to laugh. Buy me a little time, Seattle. I'm still getting used to this thing, but if you give me a minute or two, those demon rats will be mine. I can do that. And now we have to... Alright, so we can't use Gobbet for a few turns. So what we'll do is go into Overwatch. Go over here. And we just wait. Get over there. Now we wait. Oh, good. They have XCOM aiming. I really like this setting. You've got humans, elves, dwarves, trolls. And I've got 3 rat friends. Yay. Now we just start blasting. The Rat King's body shudders and convulses. As you watch, the living carpet of devil rats that forms the majority of its bulk begins to writhe. Malvina opens her mouth to speak, but you'll never know what she was going to say. The only sound that escapes from her throat is a long, ragged scream. With the dawning horror, you come to realize what you're looking at. devil rats that surround Malvina are turning inward. She is being eaten alive. Gobbet stares dead-eyed at her former friend as the swarm that is bound to her rips her body apart. Black blood pours in rivers to the aluminium-lined floor. Come on, Gobbet, let's get the hell out of here. You want to go? You go if you want to. I'm watching this. I owe Malvina that much. The ghastly feast unfolding before you continues long after Malvina's screams have died away. Finally satisfied, Gobbet nods to you. This raft is ours. It's over. The PDA buzzes. She glances down at it, then turns the screen so that you can see. Cadmus's grim visage fills the screen. I don't know what you just did. But whatever it was, it worked. Those rat things turned on Malvina's loyalists. He wheezes into his mask, gulping in purified air. And when they got done eating them, they started eating each other. Gobbet stares down at the shiny object that she holds clutched in her hands. You know? Yeah, I know. I told them to. Right after I did the same to the Rat King. Malvina's dead, Cad. You did good, Gobbet. You and your friends. We won. Come on up topside. Celebration is in order. She shakes her head. No, Cad. No celebrations, and no milling around. You can keep this place. I'm done with it. Too many bad memories. And besides all of that, you've got a hell of a mess on your hands. I'll be damned if I'm going to help clean it up. You've already helped us clean up, Gobbet. We'll always owe you for that. Yeah, well, let's not make a big thing out of it. Goodbye, Cad, and good luck. She flicks the PDA off and the screen goes dark. Captain Jomo is still waiting for us outside. Ready to go home? Beyond ready. She passes the shiny object from one hand to the other, scowling. And this stupid thing is taking a one-way trip to the bottom of the bay. Good call. Come on, Seattle. Let's go home. And that's the end of that mission. Captain Jomo's speedboat carries you away from the sinking ship, now liberated from the tyranny of the Rat King once and for all. The shiny object rests with Malvina's bones at the bottom of Hung Hom Bay. Gobbet stares back at the raft as it recedes into the distance. Her expression is at once happy and sad. Isabel takes her hand, and together they turn away. The oi grows closer. You're going home. Yay. And I have a boat that is my home, called the Kraken. Okay, I've got Karma. That's good. Now I should be where I need to in terms of stats. I need to talk with Isabel and Gobbet. Also check if I got a reward for that mission. Nope. If I didn't do that job, I wouldn't have Gobbet for my party for the rest of the game. Stepping into Gobbet's cabin, you find her crouching on the floor. She appears to be midway through a valiant struggle against an enormous pastry. Her cheeks bulge out like a chipmunk's, and wispy threads of pork floss hang from her crumb-speckled lips. She glances up at you, her eyes wide with alarm. Her jaw works manage to the enormous quantity of crispy dough in her mouth, but she doesn't seem to be making much headway. You know, between the two of you, my money is on the pastry. She struggles to move her jaw, but her mouth is stuffed too full for her to make much headway. She gestures feebly toward a pitcher of water on the ground near your feet. She tilts back the pitcher and sucks down its contents. As the water pours into her mouth, she's slowly able to work through the food stored in her cheeks. Finally, she lowers the water pitcher, coughing. Okay, yeah. Note to self. Pastry Terrace on Prince Edward Road makes them dry. She takes another switch from the pitcher, grimacing. Moist green apple and jelly trotter my ass. That thing was like a desert made of pig. Maybe you shouldn't have tried to cram the entire thing into your mouth at once. I was challenging myself for science. It wasn't the whole pastry, it was just half of one. She lifts the remaining pastry for your inspection. The pork floss that coats its exterior looks almost festive. It's more reminiscent of a beige curly tinsel than it is of food. You, want the rest? Sure, I'll take it. She blinks in surprise. Really? Sure, then. It's all yours. Here, catch. She tosses the remaining pastry to you. It sails to the air, glistening suggestively in the dim cabin light. Ugh. Alright, enjoy your look, Mary. I hide the walls. What the hell? I'm gonna have to take a look at that. See what happened there. That shouldn't... Huh. But... Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at that, see what happened. You snatch the flying pork brick out of the air. It's surprisingly dense, with a heft roughly equivalent to that of a softball. You raise the pastry to your lips and take a bite. Seconds later, you can feel all of the moisture in your mouth evaporate. Goblet wasn't lying. This thing is dry. The flavor is surprisingly palatable, though. I mean, it's pork and apple. Those things go well together. She blinks at you in astonishment. Yeah, I can't believe you ate that. I'm impressed. If I ever get another of those again, I'm gonna let it sit in a bowl of condensed milk for at least half an hour before I try putting it in my mouth. That might help, I don't know, reconstitute it, I guess? I don't know, it might work. Anyway, you, probably want to talk about what happened on the raft, huh? I think that in your place, I would. So, let's talk about what happened on the sinking ship. Yeah, she sighs. We can do that. First off, I should thank you. You and Is came to help me, even though I didn't ask you to, or want you to. Actually, maybe I should be upset about that. But the important thing is that you did help me. I'm not gonna say that I couldn't have handled it without you, but it would have been really, really dicey. You can say that again. The situation on that raft was pretty bad. She nods grimly. Yeah, it was definitely that. On the bright side, we overthrew Malvina and put the raft back in Cad's hands. That feels pretty great. And the shiny object is at the bottom of Hung Hom Bay, lodged in a bank of silt and crab shit. And it's pretty much where it belongs. But I've got to admit, something is gnawing at me. Before you and Iz showed up, I was going to sink the raft. I'd gotten halfway through arming the charges and I was going to send the whole sinking ship down in flames. Everyone on it would have died. Cad and Yasmin, all of them. All because I made up my mind early and I didn't want to change it. Kind of makes me think, how many times before now have I done what seemed like the right thing? You know, followed my gut, like I taught you, without realizing that there was a better option. This whole introspection thing kinda sucks, I've gotta say. She looks up at you, scowling. It's much more comforting to just assume that all of my past decisions were right. Sure it is. It's intellectually dishonest, but it's definitely comforting. She bites down on she bites her lower lip. Yeah. You know, Seattle, you aren't helping my mood any. I'm kind of having a tough time over here. She begins to pace, kicking piles of dirty clothes and blankets out of the way. Thrusting her hands into her pockets, she fishes out madness and folly and tosses them down onto her cot. I don't do this very often. Reflecting is for mirrors, not for devastatingly attractive street shamans. I don't know how you hand-wringers deal with feeling this way. By hand-wringers, do you mean people who learn from their mistakes? Guess. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really do this kind of thing. So tell me what to do next. What comes after this? After you've suffered through your embarrassment for a while, try to learn something from it. Huh. Your way is boring, Seattle, and it's complicated. It comes with way too many bad feelings. She scowls. But yeah, I get it. There's probably even some value there. I'm never going to start second-guessing everything that I do, though. That just isn't me. Maybe you could start second-guessing some things when new information presents itself. What a novel concept. Yes, Seattle, I can do that. And I will from now on. Cross my heart. Anyway, things turned out the way that they did. I don't know what might have happened if we tried to do something different. There's one thing I can say for certain. Things are better in Hung Hong Bay than they were before we went to the sinking ship. We did some good there. And that's something. Yeah, it is. Oh, actually, there are two things that I can say for certain. I think that Rat is happy that the shiny object is gone. She fishes in her pocket for a few seconds, then produces a chunk of stone the size of a marble. It appears to be made of the same marbled red jade that the shiny object was. Check it out. She gave me a present. Do you know what it does? Beats the hell out of me. I mean, I'm sure that it does something. It has to, right? Rat wouldn't just give me a normal rock. She's a trickster and all, but that'd be mean. So you mark my words, Seattle. The next time we're in the field, something magical is going to happen. And I mean literally magical. Possibly with explosions. It's too early to tell. She nods sagely. It'll be a journey of discovery for both of us. I'll be looking forward to that. Me too, and thank you, Seattle. I really, really mean that. You can fly by my side at any time. So how are you adjusting to the gift that Rat, or the shiny object, or whatever has given you? Her expression brightens. It's good. I mean, probably not like morally good, but I think that I can use it. What is it? What does it do? Well, it's kind of like a grenade. When I throw it, it goes boom. Not out here in the real world, but in the astral plane. It's pretty impressive. As for what it actually does, it scares the shit out of anyone who gets caught in the blast. Makes them act like idiots. They run around with their hands in the air, or forget about who's shooting at them and stand around with their fingers in their ears. Handy, huh? Yeah, it sounds great. I'm just a little iffy about how you got this and why. Don't be. It came from Rat. I'm pretty sure of that. The dancing rodents in my vision were a pretty good indicator. She lets the stone roll in the palm of her hand, smiling. Its polished exterior glitters as it moves. So, here's the thing. When I use this thing, what I think I'm doing is opening a bunch of temporary cracks in the astral plane. Just little ones. Only wide enough for sounds to pass through. People in the blast radius can hear things on the other side. So let's say I throw this sucker at someone, and it goes off. Boom! All of a sudden, that poor slob can hear things that got into Malvina shrieking in his brain. Sounds unpleasant. Yeah, it's a bad time for them. All those voices at once, yelling and babbling and cursing, doing their Rat King thing. It'll drive you nuts, right? That's basically what it does. Drives people mad. Makes them work against their own self-interest. It's like temporary insanity in pebble form. As long as you're comfortable using this thing, I'm all for it. How many did Rat give you? That's the best part. After I use one of these and go to bed, I find another one in my hand the next morning. I've tried it a couple of times now, and it keeps happening. Thoughts explode, nap, visions of dancing rats, and ta-da, new magic pebble. Using this feels right in a way that the shiny object never did. I think that it's Rat's reward to me for taking Malvina down or something. I don't know exactly. I've never heard of this happening to anyone before. Anyway, it should help us moving forward. And considering what we're headed up against next, I think that we can use all the help we can get. Any thoughts about that last run? Yeah, of course I do. I mean, it was kind of a big deal, you know. We've already said pretty much everything there is to be said, though, haven't we? And it's not like we didn't go over this already. With the important lessons about responsibility and all that. Alright, Gobbet. We've finally gotten back on track. So, got another lesson for me? No, Seattle, no more lessons. You don't need them. You're as much a runner as I am now. There might even be a thing or two that I can learn from you. All of that can wait, though. Got this whole situation with the walled city and your foster dad and gun show and all that to take care of. It's kind of a mouthful. Lots of players involved, tons of intrigue. Honestly, I'm enthralled by the whole thing. Can't wait to see how it turns out. Me either, Gobbet. Guess we'll just see how this plays out together. She nods sagely. You're damn right we will. Oh, and Seattle? Yeah? The pot on the hot plate. It's always full. I keep a soup going on that thing 24/7. If you ever want any, you're welcome. Just come on in. I'd love the company. I'm gonna make you regret that offer. I can eat a lot of soup. Yeah? Can't wait to see you prove it. She does her best to stifle a yawn. Maybe later though. It's getting late. And I could use some shut-eye. You're choosing sleep over soup? Who are you and what did you do with Gobbet? Haha. Smiling slowly, she waves you off with the back of her hand. Scurry along now. Your former mentor needs her rest. Completed Gobbet's storyline. Huzzah! Eva, you're back. Any thoughts about that last run? You know what drives me crazy about Gobbet? She does shit like this all the time. She doesn't think about anything. Not about the risks she takes, the consequences of her actions, or how her behavior can hurt her friends. She just jumps headfirst into whatever crazy scheme she's got in her head, and damn everyone else. Maybe after all this, she'll finally learn her lesson. I have to say, I didn't expect to get off the sinking ship without blowing it apart. My money was on setting fire to the whole contraption and letting it burn. But you really pulled out all the stops. Can't believe we had to face down some kind of rat demon god thing. But we did. I'm sure there's a lesson in there somewhere, but I'll be damned if I know what it is. That's all. Alright. We don't get any cash from that job. Means I can't buy the gun I wanted. So who am I taking with me on the final mission of Act 2? I'll need Rakta. I'll definitely have to take Duncan. Alright. Board the train. We'll take Rakta. We'll take those three. I haven't taken them on a job in a while. Gachua, Duncan I definitely haven't taken. And Rakta I haven't really taken on missions. Oh, right. I forgot to do the inventory that I need to do. I need the neural inhibitor. And I can get the mission started, but that'll be all I can do for today. Yep, that's what I need. There we go. Isabel has modified a taser to introduce Dreamland's cortical inhibitor program into the plastic-faced man's neural network. That should stop his headwear from completing a memory wipe and allow you to interrogate him for information about Raymond Black. But first, you need to find him. Kindly Cheng's made contact with an underground information broker named Jiaoji, who has managed to obtain the plastic-faced man's complete itinerary. With it, you can choose the time and place to perform an extraction and find out what he knows. Jiaoxi works out of an abandoned night market in Shepkip Mei, the Xing House Court. Alright. Rest of the team, we'll grab some gear. Give everybody heal. And some grenades. You get HE phosphorus, get flashbang, and you get phosphorus. Alright, now we level up. I can get even more powerful. Where do I need to go? Hey, this map looks familiar. This was in the Shadowrun Returns. Just a different layout. The dwarf is the queen of her little hive, a nattering swarm of snitches, stoolers, and spies. Avarice gleams in her eyes. They dart around you, taking in morsels of information so quickly they appear to vibrate. She mumbles the little mnemonic rhymes to herself as she tags and labels you all. Ah yes, the new on-the-scene runner, Reva. She rocks in place, humming a soft reply to herself. My friend in Heo said you'd be coming to see me. I have a friend too. She says you're the one to see about finding Li Tai Long. Oh, yes, I definitely am. Xiaoxi's eyes widen with the joy of her job and she hums her little hum. Very timely intel. Very timely. I have his complete up-to-the-minute itinerary. Where he'll be, who he'll be with, security coverage, the deluxe package. How much for this deluxe package? Unfortunately, the deluxe package is no longer for sale, nor is any information about him. So sorry. Xiaoxi's expression oozes with cunning. I received another offer, a better offer, to take it off the market just before you arrived. From whom? Li Tai Lung's client. I believe you know the company. She fumbles with her fingers a bit. I feel really bad about this, but the offer was too good to pass up. Way too good. Information brokers are a dime a dozen in this town. I'll find another. That's the thing, Reva, you won't. Sang's big in Hong Kong and getting bigger. She's already on the executive council and she's a front runner to be the next chairperson. No one's going to help you here. Attaching myself to her is smart. Very smart. Xiaoxi fumbles with her fingers a bit more. She can't make eye contact with you. And all I need to do is make sure you don't walk out of here alive. Ambush! First, we activate Koshai. And good boy. You go to that. Heh, grenades are useless. Betrayal. Get over there. They are trying and they are sucking. Let's grab that. And workers code is 400, 4 zeros and 6. Nice. And I got some karma from that. We love that. Through the stash. Money. To the stash. Alrighty, let's download the data. Your comlink clicks to life. It's Isabel. Have you met with the information broker yet? Josephine Sang got to her first. I had to put her down. Sang got to her? And she knows we're close to the plastic-faced man. Plug your PDA into Xiaoxi's computer and I'll scan it for anything we can use. This won't take long. The data is already indexed. She pauses, accesses a few files, does some searches. It looks like this itinerary tells us everywhere he's going to be for the next 24 hours. We have the upper hand here. Let's play it safe and keep it that way. Sounds good to me. She pauses, accesses a few files, does some searches. First, bad news. He's got a security detail that drives him from place to place. 6 corporate agents plus the driver. Anytime he's on the move, he's in a reinforced bulletproof limo. He's also got a personal bodyguard that's with him at all times. But there are some windows of opportunity that we can take advantage of. When he's going someplace, they drop him off and leave him in the hands of the local security. Yafeni. The bodyguard stays behind, but the other 6 guards stay with the driver. The detail itself is shared by a few executives, so they will be with someone else until his next pickup time. The convoys are on a schedule managed by the master system at Sang HQ. Okay, I've got 3 good leads here. I think we can run an extraction on any one of these. Number 1, the parking garage at Central Plaza. He's there for a meeting in an hour. We can grab him on the way out. It's still secured corporate property, so there will be resistance. But it's the weakest out of the corporate properties he visits. Plus, there won't be any civilians. Access is limited, and he's listed as a VIP in their system. Not bad. Closed space means he can't run. Interesting. Next lead? Next one is a bit personal. Mr. Plastic has a mistress. He visits her twice a week. Today's the day. He'll be at the Far Yuan Tower building for 2 hours. It's not corporate property, but it is privately owned. The management company has a security contract on it, so it's likely we'll have a fight on our hands if they're trying to get out of there with him in tow. It'll be less crowded than the parking garage, but the lady might complicate things. Better than the last one. but security on a building like Faiyuan Tower is still no joke. Alright, what's the last location? We have to grab him before he gets home tonight. Once he's home, we're screwed. He's staying in the Sang Executive Arcology, guarded 24/7 by corporate security, 2 blocks from the HKPF HQ. The final location we could grab him is his last stop for the evening. It's a locally owned public SimSense theater, a hole in the wall that specializes in underground horror flicks. He's there for an hour and 45 minutes, and his security detail will be all the way across town to pick someone else up. We'll probably have to deal with local police only, but this is a public theater. It's going to be packed with regular people just trying to take in a movie. Any thoughts, Duncan? Garage is my pick. Cards in the garage will provide cover, limited entrances and exits to worry about, reinforcements. Small amount of collateral damage. The SimSense parlor and apartment are going to end in blood. Maybe less of our blood, but more of someone else's. I don't want that on my head. Gotcha? Anything to say? I see only downsides at each of these locations. It's up to you. What's your choice, Isabel? Parking garage. It's a compromise, but I think the benefits outweigh the downsides. But it will be a straight fight the whole way through. Rakta, ever had to do anything like this? The parking garage is a bad idea, unless we have time to procure some C6 explosives to make our own way out when we get cornered. Too much concrete, too many men die for their masters. I would go to the Simpsons Theater. It's a soft target, best odds of success. I've made my decision. Let's go to the mistress's apartment. In that case, Isabel taps a few more keys on her deck. I've got the code to the front door here. It's 112798. You'll need it to get in. Alrighty. So that's going to be all the time I have for today. I don't think I'm going to finish this week, but oh well. I will be... Alrighty. Thank you, friends, for joining me today. I will be back again later tonight with War Tales. And we'll be back with Shadowrun Hong Kong tomorrow. We'll grab the plastic-faced man then. When we finish, and if you are part of Discord, you should know what I'll be playing after Shadowrun. Got to make that change. I've got to fix that up. Oh well. Yeah, you'll find out what that is when we finish Shadowrun Hong Kong. Alright, let's go raid. Oh boy. Choices. Wait, is anybody playing Shadowrun? No. No. Let's go. Alrighty, friends. Thank you all for joining me. I'll be back again later tonight with War Tales. Until then, take care of yourselves. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.